Is your financial institution working for you, or is there a better option out there? Stick around to find out. Welcome to Money Moves Podcast, the financial podcast without all the fluff.
We're Molly and Caroline, two financial marketing coworkers turned besties, and we're here to help you take control of your cash.
We'll break down everything you need to know to make smart money moves and hopefully not bore you to death.
Think of us as your financial hype squad, bringing you real stories and tips to help you start stacking your cash.
So let's start making those money moves.
We are not financial experts. We are just two regular people. Always do your own research and ask a professional for personalized advice.
Welcome back, everybody, to Money Moves. I am Molly.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're talking about the difference between credit unions, banks, community banks, just financial institutions in general.
Just financial institutions in general, which is something that I find very interesting because I really didn't know the difference until I started working at a credit union.
Yeah, same. I'm right there with you. I'd always heard that credit unions were better at lending versus, big banks and things.
Yeah.
But that was about all I knew.
No, I literally knew zip, zero, zilch. Like, I had no clue until I walked in to the job, and at the interview, they were like, what's the difference between a credit union and a bank? And I was like, I'm not.
Next. No, just kidding.
I mean, obviously I'm here, so I did some sort of answer, but.
So let's talk about our first bank accounts that we ever opened. So, like, what was your experience like? Where did you go? Like,
so my very first bank account was with a local community bank, and my mom took me. We got it set up when I was 16 because she was like, you're driving. You need to have a card to be able to access money and to be able to do stuff out on the road. So that was my first experience at all. And then I actually switched to a larger national bank when I moved away to college because my mom was like, again, motherly advice. Like, you need to be set up and ready to go, and we need to be able to deposit to you. Like, we can't just be having you come back every single time. We need you to do something. So that's mine. What about you?
So I think my parents had an account for me like when I was a little babe.
Yeah.
Which was at a bank. But when I took it into my own hands. I had remember my mom saying, oh, such and such gave your aunt and uncle a loan. Go to them.
Yeah.
So I took all my graduation money that I got from high school and all my checks, and I walked into a credit union actually.
By yourself?
Yeah. I don't know who I was. I just did it. So, I went all by myself, and I remember walking in, not having a clue about anything, and I remember them saying, like, oh, we're going to put your information in, we're going to pull your credit, and I was like, okay. Like, I had no clue. I just, give me a debit card, please. I need access to my money. Yeah. And then that was the end of that. I never walked back into that institution. I used them, but I never walked, that was it. I used my debit card.
And that was it?
And that was it. Isn't that funny?
Have you ever gone back since?
Well, I did leave that institution.
Oh, I was
eventually.
Like, you never went back in. You're just still running that debit card?
No, that debit card, who knows where she's at. I joined another financial institution. I've actually been a part of several financial institutions.
Yeah, same.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
Sometimes people will ask us, like, oh, should you only be part of one financial institution and put all your money in one place? And actually, it's good to diversify and have money at different places. We'll talk about this, but it's kind of looking into the options and how you can make them work for you.
Yeah.
So one of the things, and we'll jump into like the difference, one of the big difference between credit unions versus a bank is a lot of times credit unions have lower fees than those big banks that you see. And so sometimes you may not want to have to pay all those fees. So you might join a credit union.
Yeah.
But sometimes those bigger banks may offer something else that you do want to use, and you take advantage of that product.
Yeah.
So it's just figuring out who offers what and figuring out what you want and what your goals are and go from there. It's not a bad thing, though, to have an account at more than one place.
And I think there's such a, maybe not like stereotype or anything, but I don't know. I think there's a misconception, is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I think there's a misconception about like being able to have a lot of different financial institutions first when you're just starting out your journey. And then I know friends who still just have everything at one. And I'm like, how are you getting everything that you need out of one place? I personally bank multiple places still today. So, I mean, I just think it's so customizable to what you need, and you can get what you need out of everywhere, honestly.
Especially when you get interested in your home loans or any type of loan, different places offer different APRs, interest rates.
Yeah.
So sometimes you want to shop around to try to find the best rate anyways. So it's not a bad thing. But I use this as a saving little technique too. Some of my savings that I put into a different financial institution, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Don't touch
100%.
it,
I
and
think
it
we
helps me
talked
not
about
spend
that.
it.
Yeah. I definitely think we talked about that. For me, I get my direct deposit at one institution because of the benefits that I get, and then I literally move it to another one because it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great tactic for saving for sure.
So let's jump into some of the other differences
Yeah.
of credit unions versus banks, or like why we love banking with a credit union. I guess is probably a better way to say that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I love about credit unions, and this is all credit unions, is that they operate under the philosophy of not for profit, but for service. And here at the credit union, like we get to see that because we're employees, which is really great. But even out in the community, we have people that come up to us all the time and they're like, I love all that you're doing. A lot of times, and most of the time, banks are for profit. So all of the earnings that they make go to shareholders. Whereas with credit unions, the earnings that we make here, we give back in the form of better rates and better fees and community involvement in helping support those around us. Like I remember when the hurricane
I was just about to say
happened, like our credit union and the membership here just kicked in. All hands on deck, everyone contributed, and we were able to really impact and help those people in that community.
That was one of the things that I think touched me the most, like recently, is our local area was pretty devastated by Hurricane Helene, and it was just like amazing to see how we were able to rally to support. And that's just like so deeply ingrained in the mission of credit unions is, you know, they're founded by local people a lot of the time. Like I know our story is like local employees in the area. And so I love that part of the mission is just giving back locally. That's one of my favorite things.
I think that's a good thing that you bring up about our story. Maybe we should share that.
Because
every credit union has some type of founding story.
Yeah.
But for us, our story started back in 1934.
Yeah.
And the reason that we came about is employees of TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, was looking for a safe place to put their money to save and borrow. Because
during the Depression.
During that time it was hard and the Depression was happening. Things were just not looking good. And so they just really needed somewhere that they could trust. And I just love that for us.
Me too. And I know there might be listeners that are like, you know, not in our area. They might be, you know, other states. It's just really interesting when you decide to have a relationship with a financial institution, look at some of those things because some of the founding stories, I think, of different credit unions in other states or, you know, different local community banks. Like the founding story is really interesting. And I know our name is like super duper long, but like to me, I just think it's so interesting because it just speaks to our foundation, which came from such a humble place and like a place of building security for people, which absolutely. I think, I don't know. I love banking with a credit union because it does feel very secure to me for that reason. It's like they needed a safe place to put their money in, and that's what they built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing that I love about credit unions, and you can say what you want, but I love that like I'm a member and not a customer. Like I walk in and it's like, hey, member Molly.
Hey, member. What's up?
So yeah.
I don't
know. It's like,
hey, bestie.
Yes. It's like, I'm not a customer. I'm a member.
Yeah, I like that too. And like break it down for the people out there who might not know. They're like, what's a member?
What's that
What
mean?
is that? What is that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
For us.
So as a member.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a minute ago for the profit, not for profit, all that. So with a credit union, it is owned by its members.
Yeah.
When you open an account at a credit union, you have a share into that account. And so you get to be part of some of the decisions and who serves on the board of that credit union. Whereas with banks, you're a customer and the profits go back to those shareholders. Yeah. That doesn't mean you're a shareholder though.
Yeah,
because
you're
just another customer.
No, it doesn't. But I found that super interesting when I was first starting at the credit union. I was like, what do you mean I own a little bit of this?
Yeah,
this is crazy. I get a say.
Am I allowed?
Is this even allowed?
Yes.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's so true. I heard one time from, I forget who, I think it was when we were on ETSU campus. One of the students was asking about like this whole idea of a member.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like as soon as I heard it, I automatically included, I'm like, oh yes, I'm a member.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think when people hear that, it's kind of like, oh, you have to be a member of Sam's Club or like a gym membership. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, no.
Membership with a credit union is so rewarding and you get so many cool things and perks. And so it's not like that type of member.
Yeah, that's a really good point because I do think that it can be a little bit confusing to hear that at first. You're like, oh, well, what if I don't meet the qualifications? Or like, what if that entails me doing, like having to do something for it?
I have to pay to be a member?
Like, no, not really. Although kind of really. You do have to have $5.
Yeah, you do have your share.
Yeah, you do have your member
Pretty
share.
standard.
Yeah, but that's standy.
It's standy, she
That's
says.
standy.
So another thing when you are looking like for your financial institution is really figuring out what you value and what's important to you and then finding an institution that aligns with that. We kind of talked about the community aspect already, but I think that's so important. Like I love seeing a local, especially us here at the credit union, be involved locally on a smaller scale. Like I know sometimes we go like to summer camps in local schools. It's not like this whole big to do.
Yeah.
It's really helping every day person out in the community.
Yeah. I think speaking to that point of like, finding what works for you, this is another reason I love the credit union is it's just how I bank works with the credit union. One of the things that I love most about our credit union is I'm a big debit card user. I know not everyone is a debit card user, but one of the ways that we give back to our members is through a debit card rewards program. And for me, that is crazy that I get rewards on my debit card. So like the fact that they give back to us in that way.
It's worth it.
That's another difference is like when you're looking to get set up, what are the benefits that you get for how you just do what you want to do with your bank? Because like I know I'm a heavy debit card user, so I want them points.
She wants those rewards.
Exactly.
Rack them up.
Yeah, but like some people are heavier credit card users, and that's fine. That's just how they bank. I know that I am a heavier debit card user, so look at those things. Analyze those things.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
So one thing that I like about credit unions that's a little different than my experiences when I've been part of a bank is their approach to just financial education. Like no one teaches you all this stuff in school. Yeah. And so like you don't know how to open, like I just walked in, I didn't know how to open a bank account. No one ever told me how to do that.
Yeah.
You don't always know how interest works or compound interest or how to do a mortgage. Like you don't necessarily know those things. But what I love about the credit union is that they take a conscious effort to make sure that we're educating anyone about any topic. And that's important because sometimes finances can be scary.
Yeah. Oh, I have two things on that point, which are what I love about our credit union are that we have someone here that does financial workshops for free.
Yes.
And that goes out into our community and does that. Like I love that we have that program. And I personally, maybe I'm not digging hard enough, but I haven't seen that anywhere else. Like I really, really like that. And then on the education front, I just feel like sometimes your financiers are something where you almost constantly have that inkling in the back of your mind of like, am I being hoodwinked? Is someone pulling something over on me right now?
That's so
Whereas
important,
like I think picking a financial institution that will sit down and explain things to you and make sure that like it's not what's at the best interest for them, but it's at the best interest for you is crucial. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, I love the education aspect of it. That's a great point.
Yeah. I was talking with one of our coworkers earlier and we were just talking about just credit unions, banks, and how they approach the local aspect versus like big regional. And one of the things that they had mentioned was that they've watched this YouTuber and one of the online big institutions that you hear a lot works with that influencer to promote them. Now, the influencer does bank with that institution, which I think is important.
Yeah.
But I think that was such something good to talk about because there are people promoting products and institutions and sometimes it can get a little blurred as of like what's really going to work for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm right there with you, like the big flashy technology sometimes can pull you in.
Yeah.
But what I have found is that a lot of times the technology that you see with some of those bigger financial institutions credit unions are right there with them.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that we don't have that my big bank that you would say has.
Yeah, I would almost say that sometimes it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to bank with a large financial institution, and I was so disappointed in their mobile app capabilities. And when I came to the credit union, I was like, well, we kind of got everything that they got.
Yeah.
And it's doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely look at that for sure, because I do think that is something that people think about credit unions. That they're like, oh, they might not have the newest tech. It's like, no, we work pretty hard to make sure that we are competing, because we know what's out there with the big banks. You know, you have to keep up with it.
And I think a key difference is that with a credit union, you're going to get that local friendly service that you might not get if there's not a brick and mortar place for like some like online financial institutions. Like sometimes I just need to talk to somebody.
Literally. Like, hello, I need help. Someone pick up anyone.
And so like you really get that service, you know, which is important to credit unions when you call in or if you need a visit.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is really important to people.
See, I love that we were just talking about like technology, but then it's also that the brick and mortar is still there.
Yeah.
Like that's the combo that I want in a primary financial institution personally. I'm not sure about everyone else, but like I want to have the things that I want on my phone, but I also want to be able to immediately go seek help if I need it.
Yes. Like I need in the door.
Like,
Let me in.
That's the balance for sure. Let me in. Let me in. So to wrap it up, in giving the difference between credit unions, banks, pretty much any financial institutions, let's go over some things to like what are the key things that you're looking for in a financial institution, right?
Yeah.
So recapping what we've talked about, we're looking for services. You know, what are they doing on their mobile app? What are they doing in person? Are there things that they're doing better? Things that they are missing?
Yeah.
Looking for things like that. What else are we doing? We're looking for
community involvement.
Community involvement. Thank you. I was literally like, there's something out there. Community involvement. Is their mission aligning with like, I mean, honestly, I think that's so important in this day and age to look at, is the mission of where I'm putting my money aligning with the things that I want from my community, and like, is it going to the things that support?
Exactly.
What else? What else do we?
Are they for profit or not for profit?
Yes.
I think that's really important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Technology, kind of mentioned that one, but like, where's their tech at? You know, you can, I feel like, look at the mobile app and get a pretty good idea of the technology functions and check out some stuff like that to see if they've got everything that you want. And
how are they working for you? Like, what are they doing for your money? What are they doing for you as a member or a customer?
Yeah. How are they giving back to you? So yeah, definitely looking at, are they taking what they're making and giving back to you in any way as a customer? Like, are they providing for you and upgrading the stuff that you want upgraded? So
yeah. And are you a member?
Are you a member? It's a really important decision, because I feel like it's one of those things that you set up when you're young, and then it just like it can affect a lot of things. You know, you don't realize it, but your financial institution is one of those like foundational pieces of adulthood that you set up. And don't forget that you do have the freedom to change it, because I feel like there's a big fear of like switching. Yeah. You can switch as many times as you need to. I can't even tell you how many times I've switched my direct deposit back and forth to different places until I've found one that works for me.
That's exactly what you got to do.
Yeah. Just don't be afraid to make the switch and to explore what will work best for you.
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's just a toss-up.
Speaking of toss-ups, Molly, what an excellent segue.
I try my best, you know. We got coin toss.
Speaking of coin toss, we've got coin toss.
Speaking of toss, coin toss.
So coin toss is a segment where we flip a coin, and the winner gets to pick a section what we talk about. It could be money myth busting. It could be a story time. And the loser has to say their weekly money win, which isn't really a loss. So
it's not really a loss.
No. Who's flipping? Is it me?
I think it's your turn.
I love the power of the flip.
Yeah. Tails.
Heads.
Ooh, okay. What's your story or credit card myth, or what are you talking about today?
I think what I would like to discuss is something that we were talking about last time.
Okay.
I wanted to say that the gardening journey that I've been on.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I would like to also say it's probably not my journey anymore. It's definitely the husband's journey, because every day when I wake up, he'll be like, we got to move in the spinach tonight. We got to move in the strawberries. We can put them back out. And I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. Respectfully, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing that.
So you got everything planted last time.
We got most of it planted.
Okay.
We've planted some more stuff as of a few days ago because it's finally getting warmer.
Okay.
But I will say the first thing that we planted, which I think I talked about last time, but if not, I'll do a little recap. First thing that we planted was spinach because, we did talk about this because I'm Popeye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had our first harvest.
Okay.
We had our first harvest, and I have a full bag of delicious homegrown spinach in my fridge right now. So
how does it compare? Like, how's it compare taste-wise, financially?
Financially, way better for me. Financially, the spinach was devastating our household, to be completely honest. I was buying like 6 bags a week.
That's pretty expensive.
Here's the thing. We're not up to 6 bags a week level of production.
Of harvest?
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're at 1 bag a week. So I would say monetarily, we're still working towards that.
You're still getting there.
Weekly win.
But seed to dollar ratio to bag dollar ratio.
Like, honestly, pretty good. I think I spent like $5 on the little bundle that I planted like in a circle.
Okay.
So that's not, I feel like that's not bad. Like,
and you've already got 1 harvest.
And I've already got 1 harvest. I might need to go get some more plants to keep them growing, but they're killing it. Taste-wise.
This is so funny.
They're good.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Do you feel stronger with homegrown spinach?
Yeah, I definitely feel like my muscles, like I am feeling like Popeye, like faux show, dude. Like that's it. That's my win.
It's the homegrown effect.
It's the homegrown effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The homegrown effect. Not the homegrown
I'll
effect.
keep y'all updated. What else do we have? So we planted peppers and basil. They're like together because apparently they grow well together.
Okay.
I don't know these things. I just repeat these things. Yeah. Strawberries, mint, and onions and garlic.
I've heard mint is good at keeping like bugs away.
Mint is also extremely invasive, so keep it in a pot.
Ooh.
Yeah. It'll take over your garden. You got to watch out.
On this episode of Gardening 101.
I was like, I wish I had more updates for me besides for that. But also, I guess another update. Well, this is more of a weekly win.
Okay. That's okay. I'll share the win.
I'm like, I think I keep going to weekly win as opposed to like story times or anything. But my birthday was this past week. It was last Saturday. So when people are watching this, it would have been like a month ago. I got some birthday money from parents, grandparents, and I'm really proud because I'm keeping up that half into savings. Like I'm really, really trying to stick with that. I've been sticking with that since like last year. And it is so killer to just like get whatever you're taking that's unexpected and just like half it and just stick it in savings, put it out of sight, out of mind, like we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a win for me.
I love that. That is a good win. We've talked
Sorry
about
I took
doing
your
that.
win.
That's okay. Mine's a half a win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what'd you get, like half of the Halara leggings or something? You got like one leg?
I have not bought them yet. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, okay, wait, that's still a win because they were targeting you hard.
They still be targeting me. What you talking about?
Texting her, hey, you up?
Yes.
Get some leggings.
Now, there's another company called Buff Bunny Leggings that be coming at me now.
Oh, yeah.
So the legging world is coming after me for whatever reason.
Really coming after you.
But no, so I would say, okay, so it's kind of a weekly win. It's kind of like a cool thing that happened and then I splurged it.
Yeah, okay.
So the insurance company that I have does this thing where like if you don't have any claims, then they give back to you after so long.
Oh, that's nice.
So we got a big check in the mail.
Yes.
And so like as soon as I got it, I have been wanting this reading chair, like this reading thing.
Yes.
That no saying on the TikTok. And so I was like, ooh, we got this big check in the mail. I'm buying this now.
Yeah.
So I splurged it, didn't save any of it, bought the chair.
Oh, well, I love that.
Yeah.
Save or splurge. Sometimes, guys, you have to splurge.
Yeah, sometimes we need a splurge moment.
Yeah, sometimes you need a splurge
So
moment.
weekly win in that I got a big check in the mail that was nice from my insurance company. And then I splurged.
Insert picture of the chair. Just kidding. We don't have to insert a picture of the chair. Insert picture of the chair.
Insert.
YouTuber background hand.
You're a mess.
I know.
Well, that is it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed learning about the different financial institutions that are available to you out there. And if you have any topics or want to give us some feedback, be sure to email us at podcast@tvacreditunion.com.
And if you just can't get enough, you can follow us on social media at TVA Credit Union on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on Threads now, so you can catch us over there too.
And with that being said,
Keep making those money moves.